Hello, this is our number 9 in the series of viable solutions in contaminated property transactions. And I will present to you today one quite a viable solution that I think I'm very proud to present to you. It has to do with this industrial property that you see in this picture. It's in the city of Bell Gardens, and I'll talk to you more about it in this presentation. We have been doing this type of work since 1988. It's not new to us, but now it's what, 33 years, I think. And phase 1 and phase 2 environmental site assessments, contamination cleanup and abatement, and we do these free introductory consultations. You see some of the activities that we do here on the upper left side. You see a big drilling rig where we install the groundwater wells down to 200 feet even. Bottom left, we explore for buried underground storage tanks. In the middle bottom, we explore for groundwater contamination inside an industrial facility. On the upper right, we are pulling out vapor samples from the soil, and in the bottom right, we are taking soil samples by hand. You see here a fleet of several machines that we use to extract gasoline from groundwater, gasoline that was floating on the water or as a vapor in the soil. We have done a lot of underground storage tanks. We installed them, we removed them. You see several pictures here. Upper left, a gasoline station that shows some of the tanks that we installed. Bottom right, a station in Poway near San Diego. And then you see a couple of tanks that we removed over the years. I would say we removed probably close to 2,000 tanks, and we installed in over 40 gasoline station facilities. For myself, I graduated in 1964 in mechanical engineering with additional credit in nuclear and chemical engineering. Next 25 years spent in nuclear facilities, refineries, chemical plants, became a general engineering contractor in 1989 with a certificate in removal of hazardous substances, which I do a lot, dealing with this. So we need a special certification for that, and I have it from the state of California. Should you take calculated risk with contaminated properties? Well, we think that once we calculate them, there is a place to take calculated risks. Here is a property that I showed you before the picture. It's an industrial property in Bell Gardens, and our client purchased it in late 2018 for about, what was it, $3.5 million at the time. And we moved right away. We were already in this facility before they purchased it, and we continued to do what we have done before that. And we continued to do the work that was required by the regulatory agencies, exploring the contamination in groundwater, in the soil vapor, inside the plant. And there was some contamination there. Here you see some of the tools that we used. On the left side, you see a machine that is helping us to take soil samples from the subsurface soil. The way it works, it shows on the upper right. There is a diagram of this machine. What it does, it pushes down hollow tubes into the soil, and you see down below at the bottom right, you see these tubes where it get filled. As we push them, they get filled with the soil. And then we take this soil to the lab, and they tell us whatever has contaminated the soil. And we use this machine to take soil samples. And we used another machine here on the right side. This is a big drill rig, pretty powerful. And it's called, just the name, SME85. It's a powerful machine. And we use it to install groundwater monitoring wells. On the right side, you see a diagram of a monitoring well. What it is this is a 4-inch PVC pipe, schedule 40, 4-inch PVC pipe, going down all the way to groundwater. In this specific facility, it went down about 150 feet. And at the bottom, when it reaches groundwater, it is slotted. And groundwater penetrates through the slots. It fills up the pipe. And then we get into the pipe and pull our samples. You see here a picture of our technician with a special trucks, which has all the equipment on it. And you see where the pointer shows you, here is the opening for the well. This is the well box. And you see the tube, the plastic tube that is going down into the well. What you don't see is that at the end, at the tip of this tube, there is a pump. And the pump is pumping out the water into the tube, and it's going up. And there is certain instruments here on the trucks that you don't see that help us to take a sample from this water. We put it in little containers and we send them to the lab. We also took, this diagram shows you the wells. We had in this facility, we had 3 wells, MW4 on the upper side, MW2 here in the middle, MW3, and it shows some of the results that we got. But the point is, we had groundwater contaminated. The facility here is depicted in yellow, and the groundwater was contaminated, and it went down to the way the arrow shows the direction of groundwater flow. So we had groundwater, contaminated groundwater. And then we took samples from the soil vapor. On the upper left, you see here the equipment that we use to take the samples. You see here, you see at the bottom, you see there is a cone here. This is the tip of the probe. It is perforated cone. And through this, and you see the tube coming out from the cone, going up, up, up. This is plastic tube into the blue vacuum pump. So the vacuum pump sucks out the air and the vapor from the soil through the tip and through the tube, and is going to the vacuum pump. And on the left side, you see the syringe. This is a syringe that we stick into the tubing and we pull the sample. This is a diagram. On the upper right, you see here our technician with the syringe pulling out the sample. On the bottom right, you see another picture of our technician, another technician with another syringe pulling out the sample. And in the middle, in the upper middle, you see a picture of the real stuff. You see the probe getting straight down through the floor into the ground. You see the pump here, the gray thing is the ground, is the pump that is pumping out. So with the syringe, we take the sample, and in this next picture, you see our technician. Here on the upper right corner, you see the syringe, and he's pushing, he's injecting the sample into this instrument that is called gas chromatograph, in short a GC, and is injecting into it, and this is giving us, it's a simple description, but this is the instrument that eventually gives us the result of what is in the soil vapor. And here is a diagram. And you see the facility in yellow. You see all these kind of contour lines, like topographical contour lines that shows you the concentrations of the vapor, of the contaminated vapor in the soil. You see the 300 circles, so to say, or 300 ellipsoid. Here, this is the highest reading. And then you see the contour around it, which is 100. It tells you that the contamination in the soil vapor is decreasing. And then you see the next contour, which is 10, and then the next contour, which is ND. So the source of the contamination is here in this circle, in this contour, which is says 300. This is where the source is, and from there, the contamination spread out as vapor to the surrounding. So this is a contaminated soil vapor. And the next step is, you see all these, you see the facility here again at the bottom left, and all these red circles are instruments that we are taking the air samples, the free air samples from inside the building and outside the building. And here you see us with these sample containers. You see my laser pointer pointing at the stainless steel bottle or stainless steel container. It is under vacuum. We open the little valve and it sucks out the air. It sucks in, I should say, sucks in the air into this bottle. And after 8 hours, we close the valve and we take the bottle to the lab. And here on the upper left, you see many bottles like this that we install them in various points in the facility, indoors and outdoors. Bottom left, there is a bottle installed indoor. Bottom right, you see this canister, which I should call it a canister installed on the outside. And with them, we monitor, we take samples of the air. The long and short of it is this instrument, which is called the Land Use Covenant and Agreement, environmental restrictions. After we have done all the work in the facility, we measured everything, we prepared all of the reports to the California Environmental Protection Agency, which is in charge of the case, and we proved to them that yes, there was contamination, but the facility could operate with this contamination. And they agreed with us. This is an industrial facility. They said it's okay. People can work in it. You can do business with it. It's okay. Yes, there is contamination, but it's not that bad. You don't have to clean it up. And this is very important. You do not have to clean it up, but there are some restrictions. You cannot put a kindergarten there. You cannot put a hospital, no school. This is going to stay industrial facility with the condition as they are. And our client is very happy with these restrictions because all what they intend to do there, this is an industrial place, industrial facility, and they take this certificate and then they go ahead. I'm sorry, the certificate says that we have once a year, we need to inspect the property, see if there are cracks in the floor, you see the cracks in the floor, and just make sure that they are sealed properly so the vapor will not, the toxic vapor will not enter into the facility. So this is a very minimal maintenance work to do there, which is just minimal, just pennies on the dollar in terms of the cost of purchasing and operating this facility. And the facility has now sold, as I indicated to you, for $6.25 million. Our client purchased this for $3.5, invested about $160,000 with us, sold it for $6.25. I think they are happy, as I showed you on the bottom right picture. Sir Winston Churchill says, never give up. I hope that this presentations will encourage you to never give up. There are quite a few properties out there that can be transacted with in spite of the contamination. Call me anytime, text me or call me. You have my phone number, 323-899-5001. My website, amiadini.com. That's the website, amiadini.com. Contact me, I'm available to you anytime. Thank you very much.